Hello, this is Algebra C, page 3 notes, questions 18 through 26. Question 18 picks up just after question 17, where we're still adding polynomials. Again, we're going to be looking for like terms. So like terms have to have the same base to the same power. So right here, I'm going to always start with my highest power. Here's x squared, and here's an x squared, so we can add those together. 10x squared plus 6x squared is 16x squared. And I'm going to move on to my next one, which would be minus 13x. Can be combined with minus 12x. They both just have one x. So minus 13 minus 12 would be minus 25x. And then next I would have just my plus 30 left. There's nothing to combine it to. So my answer would be 16x squared minus 25x plus 30. Question 19 and 20 ask us to factor out the greatest common factor. So we have to try thinking, what can 30 and 18 both be divided by? The largest factor. So 2 can go into both of them, 3 can go into both of them, 6 can go into both of them. Since 6 is the largest, I'm going to be pulling out a 6. And they each have at least one x, so I can pull out an x as well. Now, to figure out what's still in the parentheses, 6 times what is 30? Well, that would be 5. And we only took one x from x cubed, so that means there's still 2 left in there. Plus 6 times what is 18? 3, and it only had one x, so we took the only x's it had left. So pulling out the greatest common factor would leave us with 6x times the quantity 5x squared plus 3. We're going to do the same thing for number 20. We're trying to find the greatest common factor of 40 and 16. They have 2 in common, 4 in common, and 8. So 8 is the largest. So we're going to pull out an 8. And they both have at least one x, so we're going to pull out x. 8 times what is negative 40? That would be negative 5. And I would have an x left over there. 8 times what is 16 is 2, and we pulled out its only x. So my answer would be 8x times the quantity negative 5x plus 2. Question 21 asks us to use FOIL to multiply. It's important to know what the word FOIL represents. So FOIL means first, outer, inner, and last. So if we notice, this is FOIL. So first means multiplying the first term from each binomial. Outer means multiplying the 2 on the outside. Inner means the 2 innermost numbers. Then last are the last ones in each binomial. So for first, x times x is x squared. For outer, x times 2 is 2x. We're going to put a plus because it's positive. Inner, negative 6 times x is minus 6x. And then last, negative 6 times 2 is a minus 12. We notice we should be able to combine the middle terms here. So we're going to have x squared plus 2x minus 6x would be a minus 4x. And then I have a minus 12. And this would be the final answer for those two binomials being multiplied together using FOIL. We're going to do the same thing here. Remember, first, outer, inner, and last. So first is x times x, which is x squared. Outer, x times negative 5x. Oh, sorry, x times negative 5 is negative 5x. Inner, negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And last, negative 5 times negative 5 is plus 20. We can combine the middle terms. So we're going to have x squared minus 10x plus 25 is our final answer. Question 23, we're still multiplying. However, we notice that there are 3 terms in this polynomial. Binomial means 2. Anything more than that, we're going to call a polynomial. So we can't use FOIL. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways to solve multiplying polynomials. I'm going to use one method for question 23, and then I'll use another method for question 24. So this first method is to set it up similar to our old-fashioned longhand multiplication problems. So in multiplication, we would start with the rightmost number and multiply it by each piece. So we're going to multiply everything by a positive 2. So 2 times negative 30, 2 times 10x, 2 times 6x squared. So we're going to have 2 times negative 30 is negative 60. 2 times 10x is a positive 20x. 2 times 6x squared is 12x squared. Now I'm going to go back and multiply everything by 4x with each piece. Now, just like in multiplication, when we use a 0 as a placeholder, we're going to do that the same thing here. We're going to place a 0 at the end. That way our like terms are going to line up. So we have 4x times negative 30 is negative 120x. 4x times 10 is positive 40x squared. And then 4x times 6x squared is 24x cubed. Now we're going to add them all together to get our final answer. Negative 60, 20 plus a negative 20 is negative 100x. 12 plus 40x squared is 52x squared. And then bring down the 24x cubed. And this would be my answer. Second method I'm going to show you is the distributive property. So I'm just going to take 2x and multiply it by every piece. And then I'm going to go back and take negative 4 and multiply it by every piece. And then I'll have to combine my like terms. So I have 2x times 2x cubed. That would be 4x to the 4th. 2x times negative 3x squared would be negative 6x cubed. 2x times 4 would be plus 8x. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to multiply everything by the negative 4. Negative 4 times 2x cubed would be minus 8x cubed. I'm going to write it right beneath the other one that had an x cubed. Negative 4 times negative 3x squared is negative 12x squared. Now, I don't have any x squares here, so I'm going to write it off to the side. And then negative 4 times positive 4 is a negative 16. Now I'm going to combine all my like terms. So I have 4x to the 4th. There's nothing to combine that with. I have negative 6x cubed minus 8x cubed, which will give me negative 14x cubed. Then I have this minus 12x squared that I can't combine with anything. Plus 8x can't be combined, and minus 16 can't be combined. Again, you'll see that I put it in descending order. My exponents go 4, 3, 2, 1, none. So this is a different way of multiplying, just using distributive, unlike how I set up my previous problem. For question 25, we're asked to factor this expression. So this is kind of like how in FOIL we multiplied and got the expanded expression. Now we want to go backwards and put it into those binomials. So I know my answer is going to have two binomials. I know since there's no leading factor with x that they're both going to start with just x. Now, in order to figure out what goes into this space here, we have to look at the last number, 36, and think of what are the factors of 36. The factors of 36 are 1 and 36, 2 times 16. Oh, sorry, not 16, 18. Made a mathematical mistake there. 2 times 18. 3 times 12. 4 times 9. And then 6 times 6. Now, to figure out which pair of these we need to put into these spots, we need to look at the middle number. You should be able to combine the two pairs to get 12, so either adding them or subtracting them in a way. And since we have both plus signs here, they need to be added. Well, 1 plus 36 is 37, 2 plus 18 is 20, 3 plus 12 is 15, 4 plus 9 is 13, 6 plus 6 is 12. So I know my winning pairs are going to be 6. They're both going to be positive because both of these signs are positive. So this is your factored form of that expression. We're going to factor this in the same way. Again, there's no number in front of x, so we know that x is going to be by itself at the front. We have to think, what are the factors of 18? 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. One sign is positive, the other is negative. So I know that both of my signs are going to be negative. So negative 1 plus a negative 18 would be negative 19. That will not give me negative 9. That's what I'm looking for. Negative 2 plus negative 9 would be negative 11. And negative 3 plus negative 6 would be negative 9. So I know that my numbers are going to be negative 3 and negative 6. So I'm going to put a minus 3. A minus 3 and a minus 6. And this is my factored form of that polynomial. That's the end to these notes. Check out the Algebra C page 4 notes for additional help.